IC, Neuro-ophthalmology made easy. Here we will be discussing about the common neuro-ophthalmological problems which we encounter in our daily day-to-day practice. Okay. To start with, I will be speaking on swollen disc with normal vision. Are you marked?
Dr. Kalaimati is a senior consultant working with Giridhar Eye Hospital, Cochin, and her special interest is in neuro-ophthalmology and glaucoma, and her topic is swollen disc with normal vision.
Good afternoon. Many times we encounter with patients with swollen eyes, both eye with normal vision. So how to deal with them, and why is bilateral disc swelling important, and what are the causes for it? Is it a true swelling or a pseudo swelling? These are the, we'll be dealing with these questions in this talk. Optic nerve meninges is continuous with the brain meninges, so any increase in intracranial pressure will be transmitted onto the optic nerve head and causing disc swelling. Two terminologies are important. Papilledema is disc edema secondary to increased intracranial pressure, and all other acquired edematous disc is disc edema. Disc edema is important because it causes ischemia of the optic nerve, which eventually causes visual impairment. And papilledema has a diagnostic as well as therapeutic potential. Now coming to a 22-year-old girl who presented with headache and vision was 6/6 and 6 both eyes, and left eye showed an elevated disc and vessels were normal. So to begin with, we did a simple test FAF that picked up the buried drusen. So to confirm this, we went ahead and did the B scan. The B scan showed the optic nerve head drusen as shown in the arrow. So when we do a B scan for drusen, we have to always, when we do a B scan for drusen, we have to always look for the A scan spike here, which is diagnostic of drusen. So how will you differentiate papilledema and drusen in B scan? In papilledema, we have this crescent sign. That is, the CSF collection is here, so we get this crescent sign. But in drusen, it will not be there. This is a 60-year-old woman who came for a routine checkup. Again, left optic disc elevation, and we did the simple test OCT, which showed lumpy, bumpy appearance. So how will you now differentiate optic disc drusen in OCT? In OCT, as shown here, there will be hyper-reflective ovoid space in which is drusen, and here a hypo-reflective triangular space will be there, which is diagnostic of papilledema. And RPE Brooks membrane will be straight in case of drusen, as you can see from here, and in case of papilledema, it will be pushed towards the vitreous. Drusen can also be made out from CT scan, but usually we don't do that. So look at this disc. Bilateral disc margins are bilateral. The disc margins are blurred. This is a 5-year-old child who came for a routine checkup, and the refraction showed +6 diopters in both eyes. So this is a hypermetropic disc. And look at these congenital conditions. The myelinated nerve fibers, hyaloid remnants, etc. These things we can find out on ordinary examination. So a pseudo disc edema is often seen in a routine examination in an asymptomatic patient with marked hypermetropia or myopic astigmatism, and past medical record should be looked for. And now look at this picture and this one, and look at this. There is a spot over here. When we see this yellow spot, it is suggestive of a disc drusen. That means it is pseudodiscedema. When we see this, there is a blurring of disc margins, disc hemorrhage, and obscuration of vessels, dilatation of surface capillaries. These things are suggestive of true discedema. So, the blurred margins, flame-shaped hemorrhages, disc vessel obscuration, dilated retinal veins, and disc hyperemia, all these are point out towards true discedema. So, in true discedema, patients present with headaches with or without nausea and vomiting, with a new type of headache, which is worse in morning, worse on coughing and straining, transient obscuration of vision, pulsatile tinnitus, with horizontal, sometimes with horizontal diplopia. Vision may or may not be reduced. So, coming to papilledema, this is discedema due to raised intracranial pressure. The three main conditions which give rise to papilledema are space occupying lesions, dural venous sinus thrombosis, and pseudotumor cerebrae. This is a 67-year-old gentleman who came to us with headache, vomiting, and left-sided weakness, 1 week duration. This is the fundus picture, bilateral disc edema. So we imaged him. The image shows a right-sided mass lesion with surrounding edema, and this disc edema is because of this surrounding edema. So this is the disc edema is because of this space-occupying lesion. This is the post-contrast picture. And this is a 28-year-old obese lady with polycystic ovarian syndrome with a recent onset headache and nausea, and again bilateral disc edema. We again imaged her, and there was lateral transverse sinus thrombosis. MRV was done, no flow in the lateral sinus in the right side, and so this disc edema was due to lateral sinus thrombosis. Dural venous sinus thrombosis can occur at any age, male or female, mostly after infectious mastoiditis, sometimes after dehydration. It can occur in pregnancy, etc. This is a 35-year-old lady, classically presented with throbbing headache, unremitting, and was accompanied by nausea. She had occasional tinnitus, vision 6-9 and 6. So bilateral florid disc edema. This is the HFA picture, bilateral constriction of the fields. And MRI showed tortuous optic nerve and partial empty cella and enlarged optic nerve sheath, suggestive of idiopathic intracranial hypertension. So the disc edema in this particular patient is because of idiopathic intracranial hypertension. So he was sent to neurosurgeon. He did a VP shunt, and this is the picture post shunt surgery picture. The papilledema reduced markedly, and this was the HFA picture post surgery. So if we intervene at the appropriate time, we can salvage the vision of the patient. So apart from bilateral papilledema, what malignant hypertension is very important. The other things we should have in mind are diabetic papillopathy, infectious conditions like optic nerve sheath perineuritis because of tuberculosis, syphilis, uremic optic neuropathy, hypocalcemia, etc. This is a patient who, 43-year-old man who came to us with severe headache. He had 2 episodes of bilateral disc edema, recurrent disc edema. When BP was checked, it was 220/120. So this is a case of malignant hypertension. So if you don't get any cause of bilateral disc edema, we have to think about drugs causing it. Vitamin A, tetracyclines, steroids, NSAIDs, cyclosporin, OCP, obstructive sleep apnea, these things should be kept in mind. So follow-up should be with perimetry every year, and assessment of ganglion cell by OCT should be done every year. So to conclude, bilateral disc swelling is a medical emergency. Imaging is crucial for the diagnosis. Persistent disc edema causes permanent damage to the optic nerve. So prompt diagnosis and timely intervention is crucial in salvaging the vision and life of the patient. Thank you.